noise.
The truth hangs heavy upon the air itself, unspoken. This is the point of no return. Somewhere beyond this point, you shall be undone, or you shall ascend. There is no middle ground.
Classic.
You come here often. I don't know what you did, but you just released a source flood. I thought I'd come and see what all the fuss was about. Should have known you were getting yourself into trouble. Looks like the big moment has finally arrived. I will do everything I can to support you, Godwoken. I will pray for you. I think you'll need it. Don't underestimate the power of true prayer. This is a place of incredible power where a single prayer holds the weight of thousands. Your heart and soul will fill as quickly as they're drained. Consider it a taste of your divine future. Of course, it's up to you whether or not to listen. I know how I'd respond, but you do you.
Malady wearily chuckles to herself, then bows her head in a show of unexpected but sincere reverence.
Looks like my investment's paid off after all. Now go. Rivellon needs a new divine.
The squirrel looks up at you and pats your leg reassuringly. He gives you a nervous thumbs up before turning and galloping away on his cat.
Source point cost so my source point stuff is free. Yes, it is. Okay, that changes things. as it's gonna get.
God, Woken. Dallas told me about you. You must be as hard as diamonds, and
Excuse me?
twice as bright to have come so far. Your divine welcomes you.
The divine you thought dead lords over the chamber from a granite throne. He moves to speak, but it's Wiedemann's voice that next pierces the air.
What a twist.
Lucian frowns at Wiedemann, then bestows a benevolent smile upon you. All that you know of him flashes across the panorama of your mind.
Lucian, you lying snake! You betrayed me! You used me to bring death to my own people! And for what? To make the world a better place? Look around!
Ifan, my friend. There were many sacrifices that had to be made. You were but one. Each of them pained me, but I would make them all again.
Lucian, we should tell him the truth.
Yes, I agree. It is time we dropped our masks.
Dallas nods, then reaches for the sides of her head. Where there was one face, suddenly there are four. She takes off the mask of the shapeshifter. A skull is revealed, bejeweled and ancient as the void.
I am eternal.
What?
Aren't they just full of surprises?
Fear not, Godwoken. Dallas is on the side of all that is good. She is helping me rid Rivellon of the influence of the Source. Listen to her.
I shall tell you the tale as I told it to Lucian. Long ago, the scholar Fane discovered that the veil between the world and the void was made of Source. Our 7 lords desired this power.
Of course.
Silence, slave. Our king forbade the 7 to reach for this power, but they didn't listen. Instead, they rebelled and sent the king and his people into the void.
With the Source they stole from the Veil. The 7 created the races so they would have worshippers.
Really? I'm shocked.
Shut your mouth, Godwoken. I tell you the truth.
He hesitates, then he swallows his pride.
Here is the truth. I have killed thousands, perhaps millions, for the greater good. But I made a mistake.
Rivellon
With
has
my
fallen.
use of death fog
Millions of
opened the
sorcerers
door to
must
the
die.
God King. It upset the Veil and took the 7 by surprise. My one mistake meant all those sacrifices were for naught. Those sacrifices must have meaning. They must stop the void once and for all.
I seek vengeance against the king and against the 7.
There is more, but she hesitates to share it. Then she decides that she must.
I was a child when the God King tore my family apart. I was purged of Source and left to rot in a putrid tomb. A child. It was hell. A hell I suffered for the sins of my father. He was the one that betrayed the God King. He was the one that told the 7 the secrets of the Veil. The cruel joke of it all is that the same tomb that housed my tortured body is what sheltered me from the void. Few Eternals escaped that fate. Myself, my mother, and my father, the scholar Fane.
Huh?
But now I finally have revenge. Revenge on the Seven and the God King. Revenge for what they took from me. My life. My people. My mother.
The hammer's voice falters and her coolness vanishes. Every crack and rasp betrays her grief. But her next words burn not with sadness, but anger.
He never even looked for me. He never even looked for her.
Dallas, control yourself. Our purpose transcends your personal wounds.
Yes. You are right.
Dallas's reasons weren't mine to question. All that ever mattered to me was peace. Peace for Riverlon. Peace for me, whatever the means. And now, we are on the precipice.
She sacrificed herself for the betterment of Riverlon. She didn't do it willingly, mind you. Curiosity led her to the tomb. My hunger for source took care of the rest. I presume her bones remained there. And then I took her place. Face rippers are such marvels, aren't they? It didn't take long to realize that Lucian was the key to my vengeance, and I was the key to the salvation of Riverlon.
While Dallas sought the Aetheran, I started draining the gods of their source.
Slurp, slurp, slurp.
One more word from you, and I shall use the leash.
I had to hide from the gods. So I had the walls of this crypt equipped with tenebrium and protections put in place. It worked. Everyone, even the gods, thought me dead. As divine, I was created, empowered to stop the void. I was the avatar of the Seven, their strength and their weakness. My bond to them allowed me to drain them of their source.
Maggot. I am no slave.
With a flick of her wrist, Dallas sends a jolt through Brachus's body. He writhes in pain.
Don't worry, he's well under control. He has made a fine servant. Isn't that right? Ingrate. I used him to find the Aetheran. When we're done, I'll release him from his duty and free him from his pain.
Dallas punctuates her statement with another wrist flip. Brachus shudders, but his lips remain curled in a self-satisfied grimace.
Yes, in a sense. When the death fog was unleashed, many elves died. With fewer elves to worship him, Tias and Dilius weakened. This gave the God King his first real foothold back in the world. To strengthen himself, he sent his Voidwoken, the remnants of my people, to hunt down the sorcerers seeking to reclaim their source.
The Voidwoken. Disgusting things. They ravaged the land they touched and infected the air they breathed. They were also an incredible stroke of luck. You see, blaming the sorcerers for Voidwoken made them easier to capture.
The Aetheran now contains almost all of the source the Seven stole. Soon, we will be able to heal the Veil.
The void shall be banished, and I, Lucian the Divine, shall return from the dead.
We'll see about that.
A false divine, of course. I shall have no power. But the world will not know this. I shall demand peace, and we shall have it.
The plan is almost complete.
We have made so many sacrifices, Godwoken. All of us. Of ourselves and those we love. One last sacrifice is required. For the future of Riverlon, you must surrender your source.
Decide. Be the true hero and give up your source, or be forced to submit. Like a coward. Like a slave.
There is no other way. The source of the world is required to close the veil. All of the source. We only lack yours.
As I say, one last sacrifice is required. Yours. We already had more than enough Godwoken.
Another sacrifice I was forced to make. Those beautiful people. I was as kind as I could be. I promise you that.
Good. You understand.
The world shall not know this. I shall return from the grave, a divine without power, yet all who desire power shall fear me. I shall carry the secret of my lack of divinity. Peace shall reign.
More than enough. Far more. I will suffer him to live no longer.
Ifan unsheaths his weapon. He stands by your side with every muscle tensed, like a coiled spring. Fire blazes in his eyes as he looks to you for support. Ifan nods his thanks. He turns away just as you see the emotion rising in his eyes. Then, the coiled spring snaps, and he pounces upon Lucian like savagery incarnate.
We only have 3. That's not good. Did I forget to make green tea? No? I just happen to have none. Okay. Oh, wait. I do have some. Good. Probably in my best interest to do this. I do not want to have everyone use tea because I'm pretty sure this isn't actually the final battle. But that doesn't mean I have to go hungry, so to speak. I can't use it. Oh, because it's only the -2. Whoops. Okay, whatever. Let's do this, I guess. And miss. Is it supposed to, like, not be making any actual sound effects? Set frozen. Do this, I guess. Fortified, get rid of decay on him. It says characters. I don't know if that works exactly how I think it does. Let's see, does it show the icons? No, if I go over them, it doesn't. I mean, there's a chance that he eats all of these, assuming it stops on the first target. That was a little underwhelming, but at least it didn't hit my guys. Knock him down. Cringe, bro. Ow, ouchie. Unconscious. Let's take a bunch of damage for free. There's no guarantee this will actually chain to anyone. This, however, might. Freeze Losa. Drop that Goofy Goober in there. Dead, of course. But at least I'm getting damage on everyone else in the meantime. Are these considered undead? No. What a play. This looks sus, but I can use this to not only give her a little health, but also should hurt Dallas. Drop another one of these, because that's probably running out soon. If they were closer, I could try hitting them both with that, but oh well. Burning. So I'd put out the fire, which I'm not sure I want to do that. So let's do this. I had to do was
You
beat
shall
up
not
Dallas?
seal the veil. And now it is I call on the God King.
How? What? You are unleashed.
Vredeman cackles in delight at this turn of events. His unbridled glee slithers into your veins and throttles your heart.
You left the leashing wand next to me, you stupid maggot. So accustomed had you become to me pretending to be your slave.
Kill him!
Do shut up, you tedious buffoon. And don't look so surprised. As if I would allow that bone-bag Dallas to enslave me. Me?
This is not the time for talk, Ivan. Kill him, now!
Too late, you moldering, blight-stained pigs. Grant me power, my ally. God King, I call on you.
I mean, he has no persuasion, of course. I picked him of all people.
The God King hears my call. He sends a companion worthy of my power. Come to your father.
Alright, well that's...
Source King.
Okay. Oh, Dallas is dead. Alright. I'd like a turn for myself, please. Like, I legitimately did not get a turn. Okay then.
God spoken. Dallas told
The divine
What a
Lucian
Lucian, you bitch. And for what?
Ivan. There were many.
Lucian,
Yes.
Dallas, a scar.
I am.
Aren't they just full of surprises?
That will not.
The Ethereum.
The plan is
We have made.
discern.
There is no. We only lack yours.
More than enough.
Ifan unsheathed. Ifan not.
Well, let's try blowing up Dallas this time then. What a play. I mean, technically speaking, it wasn't a bad play because Losa almost got fucking annihilated. But it do be like that sometimes. Right, so they're undead, but not immune to bleeding. Which doesn't really make sense, but...
Are you feeling poorly, Dallas? I call on the god.
How? What? You are unleashed!
Freedom and
You kill him! Do shut up, you tedious buffoon! You should have listened to Tarquin, you worm-ridden wench. I am Brachus Rex. I am the Source King.
This is not the time for talk.
Too late, you moldering, blight-stained.
And once again, it picks someone with no
Grant me
persuasion.
power, my ally, God King. The God King hears my call. He sent to your father. Come to the Source King.
Wait, what? Why are they here? Okay then. At least he doesn't have his deflection effect. So they're all hostile to me, but they're also hostile to each other. That's the impression I'm getting. What is plague? So that's basically just a generic debuff, is what they're telling me. And they're most likely the main target, so it doesn't make sense to blow everything for them to just kind of do nothing. I don't think it's any way I hit everyone, so let's do that. One time I'm glad they missed with the attack opportunity, then they walked into one of their own. also undead.
Glory is mine.
Why are you going for me? Okay. Whatever. Help the lads. I mean, hey, they can work on... Ah, shit. They can work on their armor in the meantime. Yep. And maybe siding with these guys wouldn't be the worst mistake I could do. Cause I was like, oh yeah, like if they're fighting each other, it'll be fine. But then they all just decided to kill me anyway. I have to do something. Yeah, on the upside, they bust up Lucian's shield. Alright, we gotta have more tea. So I can revive everyone. again. Should have tea as well. Everyone should at this point. Just beat the fire. This is technically more fire damage.
Hurts, doesn't it?
This would be a good time for skin graft. Okay, whatever. My Shackles of Pain does pretty much nothing. stun? Weird, whatever. Well, he dies to that collective. Or that. I could use Hailstorm at any point.
Worms take you. Lucian struggles to rise, but the weight of his own pain leaves him to gravity's mercy.
My time is done. But your source burns so bright I'm all but blinded by it. Be wise and true, Godwoken. I am no hero, but wisdom and truth. These are values I always believed in.
Dallis groans in pain.
I have failed. The future of all that is rests on your shoulders.
So here we are. The end of it all. Nobody I'd rather see this whole thing through with. I trust you. I trust your judgment.
Yeah, you shouldn't, but
I know you will.
we made it this far.
I know you. Remember? You're the best damn friend I've ever had. Well then, let's do this.
This is it. I can hardly believe it.
She casts her gaze around the crypt in awe.
After everything we've been through, after everything we've seen, here we are. Here I am. And now that I see godhood before me, I know what I have to do.
Yeah, you have to get out of my way.
Chief, you need to ascend. There's no one I would trust with this responsibility but you. I know you'll do what needs to be done, and I know you'll do it with style. They'll never know what hit them. Now go on, shoo.
You think back on your journey here, on all that you have seen and done. You think of the Magisters, and the sorcerers they hunted, and of the good and the evil on both sides. You think of how the Eternals came as Voidwoken to reclaim their stolen world. You look at the source around you. The power is immense. Divinity at your fingertips. You think of what you could do with such power. The rights you'd wrong, the wars you'd win. You marvel at your journey and how it has changed you. You think of those you left behind, and of those you met along the way, who stood by you or against you. It's time to choose your fate, and the fate of all you hold dear. Shall you be divine?
Yep.
After all that you have been through, and all that you have done, all that you have become, the Aeteran lies in front of you. Divinity is yours to take, or to sacrifice. What you do next decides your own fate, and the future of the world. What shall you do with Divinity?
Gigadwarf. I'll be honest, I was expecting us to take longer than an hour. But I mean, that's
So
typical
it
for
ended.
me, I guess.
A tale that began with
Whenever
my
I'm at
own
the end of a game,
ill-fated
it always
attempt to
either
rid
takes
the
me an
world of
eternity
the
or I
God.
finish it in record time.
A new divine rose, a true heir to the Seven, more powerful than ever, and united Rivellon in its battle against the Void. All across the realm, he was loved, worshipped, and adored. Humans, lizards, elves, and dwarves all rallied to his banner. The Great Allegiance stood once more, but the war continued. From the depths of the Void, the God King still sought to return. As for me, my last hope of ever being freed of the God King's terrible tyranny faded when the God woke and claimed divinity. An eternity of pain and suffering is mine.
Skill issue.
I cling now to the dream that one day the veil will be sealed, that one day I can be freed, that one day a new God woken will rise.
Do I have any special stats? No. So we ascend to Divinity, but nothing actually changes.
Sunlight sparkling off her mask.
Well, here we are again. You, me, and the ship I've saved from ruin for your personal benefit, and I fool your holiness. I expect it's the last we'll see of each other.
She turns to you, arms crossed, and grins.
Look at you. Magnificent. Actually, I've never looked better, except for one small thing.
She fingers the mask, covering her face. For a moment, it seems as though she's about to remove it. But instead, she places a hand on your shoulder.
We've come a long way together. I did my best by you all the way. I sacrificed much. But I'd give even more to see you become exactly what you've become. Soon, I'd like to have a little chat about something you can do for me. But I believe that can wait. Relax. Enjoy. I certainly plan to do the same. Oh, I don't know. Around and about. Treat myself to some mead, a level 300. I'd say we've earned it. And when the time comes, your holiness.
Well, well. Look what the cat dragged in. Divinity suits you. Though I know of one it might have suited even.
I was kind of hoping it would have let me slurp up his source.
You escaped an abominable prison and confronted the king of all gods. Only not that your story is finished, of course. Your divinity shines upon all who walk Rivellon. Now that I am clear of mind and free of intruders, I'm wondering if it isn't time to share my learnings with the less enlightened. Once I've come to a conclusion, I promise you'll be the first to know. As a matter of fact, Source makes for an excellent ally in matters of a demonic nature. Not only can Void seep through the veil, but the beasts of Nemesis might similarly slip out of their own plane. Whether you are clever enough of a divine to keep Damien's disciples confined to Nemesis, I can't say. But until we meet again...
The flaming hatchling
Oh hey, the
pounces
phoenix
and
hatched.
cheeps out of sheer
But why does it
excitement.
just look like a chicken?
It takes you a moment to realize the egg you've been carrying has hatched at long last. The chick trills
But they really
contentedly
couldn't
and
have
flaps
given
its
it
tiny
an actual
feathers in
model and
recognition
just made
of
it a
its
chicken.
proud parent. It seems you've got a new mouth to feed. The squirrels smile. A slight grin crosses the spirit.
I see great potential in our new divinity.
my, you! Look.
She curtsies low and looks up at you with a grin.
So, what's your first order of business? End world hunger? Instigate world peace? Send all spiders back to hell where they belong? I don't know if anyone's free of anything, once and for all. But I'm bloody thrilled to be here now. Just me, myself, and you, of course. Big job. I'd offer to help, but I've got some business of my own to attend to. Get loot, play loot, get loot, get glad. So, Chief, I guess this is it, right? Don't speak too soon. You're a god now, after all. Soon enough, your brain will be full of all the fates of all the people in all the realms. Let me know if you see any falling boulders coming my way, though. Or goiters or something.
As she turns from you, the whites of her eyes darken, the veins in her face go grey, and a wicked smile curls her mouth. Suddenly, it's gone again. She winks, and you're left wondering whether you saw anything at all.
That can't be
See
good.
you around.
You're the new Divine. That's so cool. What's it like? Neat. There's also the matter of my payment.
He taps his fingers and mouths silently while he counts, until he arrives at an acceptable figure.
1,300,000 dozen and 50 gold pieces. Now pay up. It is so. But if you can't pay me in money, then I'll just have to insist you keep me on until you can. So, what position can you offer?
Han ponders your...
Okay, I love being all sneaky and well, yeah.
Ifan gives you an appraising glance. Curiosity mingled with an emotion you can't quite put your finger on. Reflected in the mirror of his eyes, you see yourself, majestic, powerful, emanating an aura of purest source.
So, you're it. Our new Divine. I truly hope you'll do better than Lucian. Be better. You'll need to do even better than that. But if anyone can, I believe it's you. If I can give one last piece of advice, remember that you serve the people, not the other way around. I need to fix what my actions destroyed. I'm going to return to the forests where I grew up, where the death fog detonated. I'm going to plant new seeds and see fresh shoots spring from the earth. Maybe we'll see each other again sometime.
He pauses, as if about to say something else, then shakes his head.
Says no one leaves.
I suppose it's time for me to explore a new form of eternity.
It gives me almost as much pleasure to speak to you as it does to be whole again. I will always be an ally to those that carry swords, to those whose blood is of the heroes of old, and I am at the ready.
You look out to the endless beyond. The sun's light plays upon the waves, just as it always did. The sails flutter in the wind, just as they always will. And with a start, you realize where you must go next. You speak the command to the Lady Vengeance, and another chapter begins. War raged on. Arx remained the center of power as the races united behind the Divine. But the Voidwoken attacks continued as they did elsewhere. Arx would see many more long years of war. The ancient empire of lizards became one of the pillars of the new Divine Alliance. The houses of war and of shadows were particularly useful in the fight against the God King. The Empire used the war to expand its territory.
Conniving lizards was the prize.
Justinia returns to her throne. Under her rule, the Dwarven Kingdom fought for the Divine, and her loyalty was unquestionable.
Based.
Many fine and courageous dwarves did their people great honor, in battle and in death. With Lucian gone, the elves reluctantly rejoined the Divine Alliance. Their place in the war on the Void would entirely depend on the integrity of the new Divine. And here and there, across the world, what was left of the Black Ring fought on. The island of Fort Joy remained a sorcerer's paradise, a place of exile for those whose sorcery threatened to bring in the Void. For their well-being, its residents depended entirely on the benevolence of the new Divine. Reaper's Coast struggled on.
Again, it says nothing about
The
Reapers.
farms and the fisheries fought to feed the people against the Voidwoken blight. The black pits took fire. The oil there burns still. Driftwood teetered on the edge of starvation until the night the Voidwoken came from the sea. All were killed. This did, however, put an end to the famine. The nameless isle had vanished. Although only open water remained, by instinct ships would steer clear. None of the captains could articulate why. Arcs battled on. Young Han grew up a warrior and became one of the Alliance's greatest generals. But even he could not win the war. With a new Divine at the helm, Malady had a powerful ally. But she was in no hurry to call in her favor. After all, it might be the last thing she ever did. Ahu the Wizard served the new Divine with honor, wisdom, and an at times unnerving feline elegance. Jehan the Demon Hunter never stopped hunting for demons.
Yeah, as the name suggests.
Sahala sought to strengthen the Elven alliance with the new Divine. Her powers of sight proved useful in the ongoing war against the Void, but she could never be sure that the new Divine trusted her. With a small band of elves, Ifan Ben Medst replanted the lost forests. After the first fresh shoots broke the earth, Ifan returned to the war, leading the elves in service of the Divine. Some say Afrit, his soul wolf, walks the forest still. Losa returned to her music and enjoyed a storied career as the Divine's premier musician. Dark moods would still overtake her, and she would spend long hours walking in the wilds. She always returned with a new song. And then there was you. For how much of this do you take credit?
All
or
of it.
blame? And what kind
no
of
blame,
Divine were
just
you
credit.
as the world battled on? Did you show mercy or strength?
Like, with the
Did you
exception of
sacrifice
Driftwood, it
others as
seemed like
Lucian had
everything
done?
went relatively
Did you
well.
regret becoming Divine? Should you have given your soul and sealed the veil? Only you know the truth. Only you know if you atone for your sins.
That's that. Alright, well. I guess that's it for me for today. Thing us up by. Thing us views, hosts, follows, everything. You guys are awesome. As much as I griped and complained about the game for the entire run, I would have probably had a substantially more enjoyable time if I didn't do my first playthrough on Tactician or I actually looked up like builds to see like what would have been like a coherent build for my main character. Because I was just kind of doing random shit and seeing what worked. So it is what it is. I'll be back in tomorrow. We're starting Resident Evil 9, I think it is, the new one. Finally, I've been desperately trying to avoid spoilers, so hopefully it will be fun. But until then, I hope you guys all have a good one. Take care.